Welcome to this video. Today we will look at a very interesting problem, which is bigger. Pi to the power of e or e to the power of pi. What can you do to solve it without a calculator? Let us first look at some similar problems, for which we can calculate the powers easily. Pi is approximately 3.14 and e is around 2.71. So we can look at 3 raised to the power of 2 versus 2, raised to the power of 3, then 4 raised to the power of 3 versus 3, raised to the power of 4, and then 5 raised to the power of 3 versus 3, raised to the power of 5. For 3 raised to the power of 2 versus 2, raised to the power of 3, we get 9 versus 8. So 3 squared is greater than 2 cubed. For 4 raised to the power of 3 versus 3, raised to the power of 4, we get 64 versus 81. So 4 cubed is less than 3 to the 4th power. For 5 raised to the power of 3 versus 3, raised to the power of 5, we get 125 versus 243. So 5 cubed is less than 3 to the 5th power. We can see a pattern emerging. When the larger number is raised to the power of the smaller number, it seems to eventually become less than when the smaller number is raised to the power of the larger number. Since pi is greater than e, we might suspect that e raised to the power of pi is greater than pi raised to the power of e. We can verify this by taking logarithms of both expressions. The logarithm of a raised to the power of b is b times the logarithm of a. So the logarithm of pi raised to the power of e is e times the logarithm of pi, and the logarithm of e raised to the power of pi is pi times the logarithm of e. Now, we need to compare e times the logarithm of pi versus pi times the logarithm of e. We can rearrange this to compare the logarithm of pi divided by pi versus the logarithm of e divided by e. Since logarithm is an increasing function, and pi is greater than e, we know that the logarithm of pi is greater than the logarithm of e, but is the logarithm of pi divided by pi greater than the logarithm of e divided by e? We see that both expressions are in the form of the same function f, x, equals the logarithm of x divided by x, so we need to determine whether f, pi, is greater than f, e, or f, pi, is less than f, e. To analyze this, let's look at the behavior of the function f, x, equals the logarithm of x divided by x. Taking the derivative, we get f prime of x equals 1 minus the logarithm of x divided by x squared. This derivative is negative when x is greater than e. Therefore, the logarithm of pi divided by pi is less than the logarithm of e divided by e, which means e times the logarithm of pi is less than pi times the logarithm of e, and consequently pi raised to the power of e is less than e raised to the power of pi.